How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I am very glad that this quarantine is coming to an end.
Yes, slowly but surely it is happening, which is good.
Yeah. So what have you been up to during this quarantine and where are you quarantining right now?
I've just been at home. I live in like a small town called Castleman, so I've just been holding it down back in my hometown and just chilling out of my house. And I haven't really left my room a lot, to be honest. Just been staying in this little zone. But no, it's been good. It's been okay. Yeah,
Awesome. Is this your like childhood room where like you grew up in or like
kind of like had like older siblings, so like as they would leave the house, I would kind of like take over the different spots. So yeah, I've moved around a few times, but yeah, it's still the same house I always grew up in. So this used to be the basement, but it's now my room. It's been turned into my
your
like my little lair down the bottom. So yeah.
awesome. So I see that you have like a guitar in the corner. Is this like also like where you like write a lot of songs and music and
Yeah, so I have like a studio, little like home studio set up. Like it's nothing crazy, but it's just, it's enough for me to get ideas down and like write. So yeah, I've just got like guitars, keyboards. There's like a lot of MIDI controllers around and like microphones, speakers. So it's good.
awesome. Awesome. So what are your plans now that, quarantine's being lifted and what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to like one, just like seeing family and friends I haven't been able to see, but also just I think just to even just get out, because I feel like being stuck inside sometimes it can be like creatively limiting, like because you're just like doing the same thing every day. So
Yes.
it's kind of good just to like get some fresh air and actually experience a bit of life for a bit, so you can be inspired. But no, I'm looking forward to being able to get back and start working on some music and yeah, doing what I always do.
Well, so that kind of brings me to why I'm interviewing you today because you release a new track every hour, which is
Yeah,
really cool, really awesome.
thanks.
Of course, yeah. I was actually listening to it. So I'm in Melbourne, and I was just listening to it the other day, and I just thought that it was such like a great like summery vibe to walk to with like its heartwarming lyrics and stuff. And I was just like, this is such a great like shift from like your major debut with Waiting. And I was just wondering, what was the creative process like for you to arrive at this place?
I think it was just like in saying that like the probably the reason it's like very different is like I wrote Waiting when I was so young. Like I was 14 when I wrote that song, so it was kind of that was the sound, and I guess also the lyric content was maybe just like that was what I knew then, and it was kind of like that was all I knew. I was still learning, and like I'm still like that was my first song I ever wrote, so I was still just kind of like figuring out my footing a little bit and trying to figure out where I'm going to go next, and like what is my sound and who am I as a person, which is like I can't really say I know that because I'm 17. So, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out. Um, but yeah, I think it's just been like just all about development and trying to hone in on what I want to do in my sound. And I think I'm getting really close with this new music that I'm making, and every hour is another step closer. So hoping that people will be able to see this transition and take it as self growth and like just me sort of maturing a little bit and yeah, moving forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually also saw your lyric video for Waiting, and I saw that you were like vibing out a little bit, which is so
Oh
cool.
yeah.
But you kind of were, you kind of were really like you were feeling yourself in that lyric video. What's the visuals you have for this? Do you have like a music video treatment for it? Like, you know.
For every hour.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like the funny story with that is like we had like a whole amazing video planned out, and we're like, awesome, this is such a great creative idea, we're gonna like get it all set up. And like literally like just as we were about to organize a day to shoot it, like this like they announced that everything was getting shut down. I was like, oh fuck, like the one time I wanted to make a music video and I had everything ready. So yeah, like we ended up, we were kind of like, look, we either just see how long we're going to be locked up in our houses for, and we'll, if it's not too long, we can still go ahead with it. But then we were kind of like, hey, well, we want to put some sort of visual out with the release of the song. So that's where like the lyric video came from. We were like, I got together with the dude Wyatt Knowles, who he did my artwork. for the cover of the song, and he was like just working with me on other stuff too. So we were like, okay, well, can we get you to help sort of make this video idea? And so he got one of his friends, and we sort of just did a big collaboration. I just ended up filming myself with a phone,
With your
and I was
iPhone
like
or like
standing.
the
Yeah,
computer?
my iPhone. I was like standing in front of a white wall, and I was just like vibing out to the song. And then they ended up just working some magic on it and turned it into what it is now. So,
Well,
yeah,
it's a pretty cool lyric video, pretty engaging. So I know that the producer for Every Hour, Jerome Farrell, was actually also the same producer for Waiting. And so I was
yeah,
wondering whether you could talk a little bit about like your working relationship. What was it like, linking up with him like a few years back to now? And obviously you sound
yeah,
so much more confident, with like your choice of instrumentations and even the way you're delivering your lyrics. And so,
yeah.
what was that process like?
Well, Jerome has known me since I was like tiny, like since I was probably like 3 or 4. So yeah, he's like, so yeah, he used to dance. So like my dad had like a dance company and stuff. So Jerome's dad was like my dad's business partner at the time. So like they were, like working together, and Jerome was dancing for the company, and my dad was dancing. Everyone was dancing. So like they all knew each other. And at the time, I was like a little kid trying to dance, and I was like doing my little moves and stuff. But yeah, like that's how I know Jerome. It's kind of like almost family sort of vibes in terms of how long I've known him for. Um, but yeah, so like the way I like started working with him, my dad was like, I was always dabbling with singing and music and stuff, and I was interested in it. And my dad was like, okay, well, how about we just get you in the studio with Jerome, because he had been producing for years at the time since he was 16. So I was like, awesome. Like I felt comfortable going because I've known him for so long, so it was easy. It wasn't just like some random person. So yeah, I went in. I had some ideas, and you know, him being as talented as he is, he was able to pull together some other instrumentation around it. And yeah, like it sort of came together. He's good because like I like to write a lot of my lyrics myself, and I'm sometimes very like, and I don't know if I'm annoying, but I like am very like conscious of what I'm doing, and I like to just like, if I don't like something, then it annoys me, and I have to like try to get it right. But I think that's just like the way of an artist. I don't really know, um, but yeah, he's really patient. He like he's taking his time with me, and we've made a lot of songs together. And like some songs will probably never come out, but other songs, basically all my music that's out is with him at the moment. So no, it's definitely been a good journey, and he's been a part of my growth, I think, definitely. Um, but yeah, I think like now it's sort of about me needing to like in order for me to like learn and grow more, I've kind of like been branching out and like reaching out to other people, and working with other collaborators, which has been really helpful. I think in the last year doing that, I've like learned so much in terms of traveling to overseas and working with people and just meeting other people within Australia. I think there's so many talented people out there. It's just about finding the right people that you gel with.
Yeah. So, with your creative process, does it usually start with like lyrics, or does it start with like a vibe, a chord, like, or like, are you like, hey, I wanna have some producers send me a beat, and then I'm gonna work from there, or what's that like?
Yeah, well, I think usually for me, it's always different, and it's like it's never just like I haven't got like a set process where I just stick to that every single time. But it's kind of, I wish it was like that, but it's not. um, no, for me, there's been times like where I think early days before I was able to get in with producers, like I would even like be in class at school listening to like YouTube beats and trying to write to that, but that wasn't really the best sort of thing. So but yeah, like once I started getting better at guitar, and like just my ear for music was getting a lot better, so I was able to like hear something in my head and then figure it out on the guitar. And then that was sort of where I started going from there. I would just find chord progressions that I liked, and then I would write from there. And like the way that chords work for me, it's kind of like if I can feel something from the chords, then it helps me to be able to write to it. If I can't really, if I'm not feeling an emotion from it, then it's just makes it a bit harder because I don't have a place to come from with the lyrics. And so I don't know. It's there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but yeah, it's always different. Sometimes even I'll just be thinking about an experience in my life, or like something that happened. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to write about one day, and then I'll just go and just write about it. So yeah, it's always different. I can never say I've got one like go-to process.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it really comes through, like, cause like especially with each of your track, I could really hear the kind of emotions that's going through. Especially with every hour, it's kind of like, wow, whoever inspired you to write that, like, they must be pretty, they must be pretty happy. Did they, did it came out of a? I know you said that it was inspired by real life events. What
Yeah.
did the other person think when they heard it, or
Um,
have you not played it?
they no, they've heard it. They like it. It was no, I think it was like, you know, it was about an experience, and like whether it was all factual or whether I was just kind of like also just like getting some stuff out. It was whatever. So like for them, it's like it's special. I feel like whenever you know that something's been written for you, or like you have a feeling it's been written for you, at least I think it becomes special. But at the same time, like I hate to like pin it down. Like I think like if someone can listen to the song and think and feel something else from it, and they can relate it to themselves in some experience, then you know that's great. That's why like I always try to be a bit vague with like
Yeah.
explaining it, because I just feel like, you know, I know what it means, and I know what each line means, but it's whatever to anyone else. You know, if they can if they hear it different. Like sometimes people like get the lyrics wrong, but it's like if that's the lyrics that you want to hear and that's the lyrics
That's
you like, then
honestly,
that's
yeah.
cool. It's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely agree. I think the way you wrote Every Hour is very universal and very relatable. And, I
Yeah.
don't think, yeah. And so I think definitely you've been able to achieve that. So I know you've mentioned that you're working with like different collaborators. And so I was just wondering
Yeah.
what we might be able to hear from you, what kind of new sounds, what genres you're thinking of branching into.
Yeah. I think, you know, at the moment I've been really, really liking a lot of like old music. Like that's sort of the one thing for me. I feel like, you know, a lot of music at the moment is like I'm not like, because I like a lot of the new music, but it's also kind of like things are starting to sort of like sound the same, and in a way like genres have just kind of just gotten mushed together, and it's just not really like it's hard to like even just go to like a generic pop song, and like even now it's like usually it's got like 50 other genres in it, like whether it's trap or like 80s synth at the moment, which is popping up, and then just heaps of different stuff. So like it's hard to sort of go in and be like and like just characterize different genres like these days at least. But I know at the moment it's just like going back to like early 70s, late 70s, and even 80s music. I'm just really enjoying that. Like I did my little 90s thing as well, and was like really into that too. But I think, you know, like I'm finding like after this whole wave of like trap and sample stuff's kind of like come through, I think a lot of people are sort of taking it back to more like live music and like really good instrumentation. I feel like it's slowly coming back into music, which is really cool. I think it's really important. Not that the other music wasn't great. It was great. I still like it, but it's just like it's just refreshing to hear like some old sounds come back. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do with my music as well.
That's awesome. I could definitely hear it with the use of strings and like the laid back kick drums and everything. What has
Yeah.
been on your like quarantine playlist that you've been like, what artists have you been listening to? What albums have you been like playing?
Let me try to pull this up because I'm gonna have to get a little refresh. I honestly, I've been listening to a lot of George Benson.
Oh,
Just some George Benson is he's fire. Just like
he
one
is.
because like I'm trying to get better at guitar, and you know he was an incredible he's just an incredible guitarist. So it's kind of like um for me to be able to like listen to that and his tones and that he gets out of the guitar and stuff, it's cool just to like listen to the sound. It's like I've been going through each little song and like finding little bits I like and then saving it so I can like go back to it. Um, you know, I recently like I went back into Jordan Rakai's latest release, Origin.
Hmm.
It's like his like latest album, but yeah, that I like I was just busy at the time when it came out, so I never got a chance to properly like sit down and listen to the whole thing. But I listened to it the other day. It was really, really good. Um, there was an album called "Pray for Paris" by West Side Gun that got released. It's like a rapper. I think he's from New York, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's really cool. There's like some great features on there, and it's kind of taking it back to that old boom bap sort of style of rap. And then other than that, like honestly, again, like just going back, like I've listened to Outcast and a bunch of stuff. Just like
Yeah.
just refreshing, like stuff that even just songs that are just so world renowned and just like timeless. But just like I don't know, something about it is just refreshing to me because it's like songs that that everyone loves, and it's just like okay, these are like what makes these songs great. You know, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. But
That's that's
yeah,
that's so awesome. So I know that your first few release was like collaborative project with like Vince the Kid and Baker Boy. And I know you also toured with Georgia Smith, and so I was wondering,
yeah.
like, who's on your like dream list of people you were like, I want to be able to collaborate with them, write songs with them, or what's on your wish list?
Honestly, like there's so many people. It's kind of hard for me to like. There's people too that I feel like I almost don't want to meet because I don't know if it'll ruin my experience like listening to their music. Cause not that I'm like think they're going to be bad people, but more just like it's almost like I don't know. I feel like when you have an artist and it's just kind of like they're almost like this crazy being, and it's like oh my god, like you get kind of taken into their world. And I feel like when you know someone personally, it's like different when you listen to their music in a way, like just because you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. In terms of people, God, this is a hard question. There's so many people. Like, there's so many people.
All right.
I don't know. I look up to a lot of people. I think like I don't know. To be honest, like someone that I really want to meet would be like Pharrell. I feel like Pharrell would be crazy to meet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because like even like I don't even know if like I get him to produce for me, but just in terms of just meeting and talking to him because I feel like he's such an icon and like a big part of just music in general. Like so he's probably inspired so many people. So
Yeah.
or there's a lot of artists now that I look up to that I don't think would be who they are without him, which is really cool. Like an artist I really like at the moment who I would love to work with would be like Omar Apollo. I don't know if you know him. He's incredibly talented. Um, then there's like the obvious people who is like for me is like Frank Ocean is like crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even know. Like there's honestly so many people like in terms of like producers and stuff too. Like um, I don't know. Like even like working with Tom Misch would be crazy. I think he's like for what he does, like his sound is just so nice. So yeah, there's a lot of people. I'm just there's like I'm just looking at my playlist and I'm like looking at everyone. I'm like, oh, I could work with all these people. Like, what the hell?
Well, I
Like,
mean,
if anyone on my playlist came to me and was like, "You want to work?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's do it." But yeah,
this is a very big question to ask, but yeah, I mean, I definitely can see Pharrell working really well with you, especially since he has such like a wide range of, producing different genres. So is Every Hour kind of like the lead single for an upcoming album, EP, or is it more just like I'm gonna keep the fans satisfied during this
no,
quarantine?
it's been like like we've had that song in the bag for a while. It's sort of just been chilling, and just like that whole thing was like I think like as I said, like a lot of last year was just me trying to like find my footing a bit. Like I think I needed that time to grow. Um, so there's other songs like we've got another song that's ready to go. So that'll probably be coming soon. So like yeah, it's just like kind of planning it out, rolling it out. Like I think I'm not sure how close an album is. Like I feel like I need to be really ready for that. I don't know. For me, it's like my debut album, like I just want it to be something special. So it's like I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm not rushing that too much. Um, yeah, there could be definitely be another EP down the line, but honestly, I don't even know myself. So I'm just trying to make music and keep doing things um that I love. Like there's an abundance of songs right now. I've just got to make sure they're all done right and I can get them all out to everyone.
That sounds like a great approach. So I've actually also read up a little bit on your bio, and I know that your dad was like the founder of the indigenous hip hop projects, and I know that you
Yeah.
grew up around a lot of that community, and I was wondering how has that experience kind of bled into your creativity and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think like a lot of my like some of my best friends and like people I call brothers, like I've met through those experiences. Like Baker Boy, for example, is like, he's like my big bro. Like I met him when I was like 12, and yeah, I don't know. He's just one of the people who like you just meet them and they're just so full of energy and they're just so bright. It's just he just makes everyone feel around him just feel great. So like he's such a great person to be around. People like Dallas Woods, who he's a rapper. He like also tours with Baker Boy, and I've known him for even longer. I remember like I think when I was 6 years old, he was like 16 and he was looking after me, like babysitting me. So yeah, I've met so many great people. I think like they're the connections that will be with me through my life, and I think touring with Baker Boy definitely helped me grow, just as an artist and performing. And then other than that, like just being around and having the knowledge that I was able to get from like visiting community and even just talking to people was kind of, it's stuff that I always carry with me, and it's just a certain respect that you sort of I was able to like I was able to like, I don't know, like I feel like people that don't get those experiences, they don't get to properly respect the culture and get to see it and get to like know and love it. So I think I'm very, very grateful to be able to experience that. And yeah, I just think I can't like stress enough like how many great people I've met through going that. So yeah.
So I can ask, I mean, obviously, other than your A&R team and your label, like who is like your sounding board for like whether or not to put out a track? Like I know you said that your dad and your mom like dances and all that, and yeah, I was just wondering like who's like the tight knit circle of yours that you're like that you reach out to.
Yeah. So I think like just like there's certain people that are like that are close to me that I like will be like, I'll send it to them and be like, look, like, do you like this or whatever? But it's less of like, I think like I have a lot of creative control when it comes to that stuff. So like a lot of the time it's like if I like a song, then that's kind of what's going to happen with it. Like if that we go forward with it. Um, you know, my sister's one person that like I always show, and like she's not afraid to tell me if something's shit. So like she'll so if she doesn't like something, she'll just be like, yeah, I don't know, man, like you could change this, but like she's a dancer, so she I know, I think she hears music on a different, like a whole different perspective to me, like not from like a musician standpoint, but from a dancer standpoint. So I think she's more about the feeling and like, if the drums are like are hitting and different things. So it's kind of like, um, it's good to get that perspective because I think dance is something that is so closely like, it's like such a tight net thing with the music. So yeah, I think it's good to get that perspective, and there's even just other musicians, Australian musicians and young people like that I know and I've met, sometimes I would play them something and get their opinions, but yeah, I can't really say I've got like there's like a team that I always go to and I'm like, yeah, do you like this song? And that's cool. It's more just like, if the vibe's there and I'm feeling it and I feel like the song's ready to go and it's ready for this time that the world's in right now, then yeah, then I think it's good.
That's awesome. Well, Kian, thank you so much for hopping on this interview with me. I can't wait
No worries.
to see your live show when we're allowed to go to live shows again. Um,
Yeah.
well, I think to wrap up this interview, I'm in Melbourne currently, and I've never been
Yeah.
to Castlemaine. So
Yeah.
if I were to ever was like, let's check out like small towns. Like, what would you recommend me to do around Castlemaine or like other small towns around you?
Um, in Castlemaine, it's very relaxed. There's like the botanical gardens is like a garden. It's nice to go for walks there. If you've got a dog, you can take your dog. There's a bakery like just near there. It's called Johnny Baker's, and like it's like I swear it's like the best baker I've been to in my life. But anyway, that's like one of my favorite food spots to go to. Other than that, like Castlemaine, it's just like there's a lot of different things to go and see. Like there's museums and there's like art galleries and stuff, so you can go and check that out. But yeah, there's like there's so many cafes, so there's great coffee and stuff. So yeah, I think it's just a good if you want to escape the city life for a little bit and just come to a slow pace style of life. Then yeah, I think it's great just to come out here, and that's like my favorite thing about coming home is like being away on tour, like just doing sessions all the time. Like I can finally just come back and be like, okay, I can relax for a second.
Yeah.
Sure, like yeah, so yeah, it's good.
Well, thank you, Kian. This has been very insightful, and I can't wait to hear new music from you.
Amazing. Yeah, I can't wait too.